This is great and very true. And it's great on two levels, because if you realize that many people cope by projecting, if you kind of get that, that's a very calming thing, because usually they'll be projecting on you, and if they do that, it's very easy to take it personally. And if you kind of know that most people's default mechanism for coping is through projecting, and you realize, yeah, I know they've said that to me, or they've projected it onto me, or whatever, and it was directed at me, and yes, I'm very within my rights to be quite upset, but it's probably not about me. It's probably a lot more about them. When you see that, then it's like, well, I just happen to be within the blast radius of their projection. And yes, it was very pointedly directed at me, but it's probably not to do with me. That's very liberating. And it's a chance to kind of spiritually use it as a kind of a spiritual thing, or a way of letting go of, like, how very dare somebody say that about me. You know, how dare they say that about me? I'm such a lovely person. How dare they say that about me? And they misunderstood me. And that's not the way it is. All this energy, you know, it's just freed up when you kind of go, yeah, that is probably got nothing to do with me. That's probably just them being, something's obviously triggered them a little bit, and they're a little bit concerned, and they're projecting that onto me. You know, I mean, you know, you take the feedback. It's always good to take the feedback. It's not just to kind of go, oh, everyone's projecting, it's not me. Everyone's projecting. It's not to do that either. But if you kind of realize that a lot of people do that, and they say things that really don't have a huge amount to do with you, it frees up so much space. It still hurts. It's still a bit, you know, it's still triggering, or it's still, you know, it's not like you're unmoved by it, but there's a lot less reaction to it, which is nice, very nice. So it's just a good thing to remember, just to bear in mind that, particularly when it's like, how dare they say that to me, that you can kind of come back to, you know what, that probably wasn't to do with me. It was probably them just feeling a little bit like they had to protect themselves. And the nice thing is, then, that gives you access to compassion. When you can be compassionate towards someone, it's so much easier to kind of get to what's really going on with them.